Hey everybody, Modoch here with another lower tier ranked match commentary. This game I am playing against Sodastar, who's ranked number 361 rare. I am once again using my full faction SL Skywing deck. We're on Elemental Plateau again, and he's using full faction UD. So once again I get my Prismatic Skywing out first. If you haven't watched the other videos by now, you should know that he's probably one of my favorite newer runes. Sodastar drops both an Imp Strangler and a Bot Guardian. You get the double deploy. I go ahead and take my top font. Can't really deploy anything else, which is fine. Just means it'll be one more turn before I can take that bottom font. I'll still be able to contest the mid font with my Prismatic. And I'll have a lot of options next turn because I have a lot of Norris. So, alright, so I end my turn. And he takes his Enforcer down to his bottom font. The good thing about this setup is his Enforcer only has 5 speed, so he can't, unless he position his Imp Strangler in the right spot, he won't be able to contest this middle font. So it might work out in my favor. And I go ahead and decide to go ahead and deploy Vindrax since I'll have a lot of Nora next turn. I'll have that 12 extra Nora and I should be able to deploy another champ, so I'm not too worried about that. So like I said, he's only got 6 speed on his Guardian, so he can't really can't contest that font with him. So unless he put his Strangler in a good spot, I'll have that middle font for next turn. Deploys the Bach Raider and looks like he's moving towards that top font to take it. And apparently he did position his Strangler properly because he's able to contest that middle font. So I take Vindrax down to do my lower font. I'm not too worried about the Strangler just yet. I kind of think about deploying one of my pseudo detection runes, but decide I go ahead and just put out my my Brood Queen since she has detection, and just kind of position my Skywing so I can get off a couple attacks next turn here. Alright, so I know his Imp is somewhere in my font, in that middle font. Brings up the Guardian to contest. Takes his Raider up to his top font to cap that. And cast Fading Recollection on Vindrax. And drops the Demon Shield on his Guardian. Fading Recollection, I like that spell. It's one of those mindless ones. I've kind of stopped using it in my UD battle groups just because it's kind of situational. I actually think it's a pretty balanced spell, to be honest with you. It's a lot better than stuff like something like Blink, for instance. I know I kind of ranted on that in my last video, but Fading Rec at least leaves the champ out there so you can still use it, you know. So I move in with my Skywing, drop my Jasper. Here I kind of make a mistake moving Vindrax up, but it's not a huge mistake. It just kind of annoyingly delays the game a little bit. I go ahead and double tap with my Skywing because even with the counter attack, even with the riposte, I still only end up losing 3 hit points due to it because of the life siphon thing. Yeah, so just kind of position my Brood Queen to join the battle next turn. And I'm pretty happy with where this is going. And again, if you've watched a few of my videos, you know that I'm super aggressive on fonts. I always assume someone's going to contest the font. That's exactly what he does. I should have seen that coming. Instead, I wasted all of Vindrak's AP just moving him in to do nothing. I should have just moved him up a few spots, and that would have blocked the imp from being able to really do much of anything. Anyway, he attacks and drops an acrid smoke. Alright, so here I've got to move Vindrax back down towards my font and use a relic to contest, because I don't want him to have that deployment zone and extra AP. And I go ahead and put the Legion of Standards so that I can actually attack the Strangler. And then I move my Prismatic back away, because there's no point in leaving him there. And bring my Brood Queen up and lay an egg. Maybe get a Broodling Bong off this next turn. Alright, so I really don't have to worry too much about the imp. Vinny can take care of him. He flame strikes the Jasper. Fire Blast to kill it. And then another Fire Blast to kill my Prismatic and my egg. So that's kind of annoying. And he recovers the globe. But can't keep me from contesting because he recovered the globe. I think it probably might have been a slightly better strategy to kind of let the globe sit there, because I can't really get it with any of my units. If he goes up and engages my Brood Queen, he keeps me from being able to contest easily. And maybe gets a free deploy there. So, I mean, I probably still could have contested, but I'd have been not in the position I'm in now. So, I'm kind of thinking if I want to spend Nora or not. I go ahead and Dragon Fear the Raider. I probably could have not done that and saved the Nora, but in the long run, it doesn't really, I don't think it really matters too much, to be honest with you. Alright, so he moves both of them in. He tries to kind of block Vindrax, and he tries to take out that hive. I've got the Magnetize, though, so love that spell. And that's going to be... That's my plan right now, is use that Magnetize so I can retake that font. And because he's only got 14 hit points, and I've got the equipment on Vindrax, that'll pretty much take care of that imp. Don't think it, and yeah, go ahead and do it. So the 2 relics and the equipment does 15 damage. Get the globe, and I can kind of retake that font. And here, again, there's no reason for me to even attack the Guardian, because she's got her block and her post up. It just doesn't really matter. And I'm deciding between a Tornado and a Deploy. Go ahead and Tornado. Might have should have dropped the Paradosphere first. I might have killed the Guardian. Or gotten a lot closer anyway. Go and put my dodge up, and again, kind of move away. Make him move to attack me. No reason to make it easy on him. Alright, so he moves in and attacks with the Guardian. Brings his Needle Claw up. And honestly, I don't think I would have moved the Raider up close either. I think I would just left it there or moved it 2 down so he could kind of take on Vindrax, because the Raider is not going to do nothing against the Brood Queen until he can arrow shot it. So, and this just opens up my another favorite one of mine is the Paradosphere. So my plan next turn is to drop a Paradosphere on that Raider and try to take out the Guardian with the collateral damage. And he puts out another Needle Claw. Alright, so that's exactly what I do. Drop the Paradosphere. And I go ahead and drop the Rumbler. And move him forward. This is the thing where things kind of work out nicely for me, even though I don't really super plan them far ahead of time. My first thought is to bring Vindrax up, but I know she's got block up on the Guardian. And then I remember that I've got Invigorate on my Brood Queen. So I go ahead and Invigorate the Rumbler. And attack. That gets rid of the Guardian. Then I kind of move Vindrax over to block. And then about that point I realized, oh yeah, he's not flying anymore, so that sucks. I'm not sure why I moved my Rumbler up, but yeah, it doesn't really affect too much. Alright, he engages Vindrax with the Needle Claw. He's got counterattack melee, he's got assault. He's got Bounty Hunter. So that's fun. So now he's got Hunter Sundered Lands. And by engaging Vindrax, it keeps him from kind of moving out. Casts another Acrid Smoke. And equips another Demon Shield on his Needleclaw Imp. Alright, so I go ahead and decide to Purge, and that'll let me take out that Bach Raider. And still do some damage to his Needleclaw there with the Paradosphere. And recover the globe. Alright, so I do really good damage on the Needleclaw. I thought about a quickening here. I was trying to kind of calculate damage. I wasn't sure how much return damage I was going to get. I kind of tested with the first one. I only do 12. He does 17. So I do 2 more attacks. I'm going to die. I don't think he would have died because I think he's got more than 12 left. Yeah, he's got 16 left. So the quickening wouldn't have helped me kill him. So, but Vindrax is pretty much dead this next turn now. Nothing I can do about that. But I was happy with just at least damaging the Needleclaw at least, so that I can get him in another turn here. Alright, so he takes Vindrax out, covers the globe, taps my Rumbler, and puts out another Raider, and moves him up. Again, I probably would have saved the AP there, but that's just me, I suppose. Alright, so I want to try to avoid the counterattack. Once again, kind of forget he has assault, so that kind of sucks. I invigorate him so I can get a double tap off. And unfortunately, it's not quite enough. I'm going to leave him with 1, which sucks. So I go ahead and quicken just to kind of get rid of that imp. And then move that forward. And go ahead and put out my Sunder Hellion so I can protect my bottom font. Because I know if I don't do it, he's going to take that other Needle Claw down there to contest. Because that's just kind of been his MO so far, is trying to contest that lower font of mine while holding his own in the middle font. So alright, so he brings his Raider in to recover the globe and contest the font. Which is fine, because once again, my Rumbler is going to be dead from short-lived here, so that doesn't really matter. And he can't really hurt my Brood Queen with his fire attacks. So, and he does exactly what I thought he was going to do, and goes and contests my font again. And drops his banner again. So that'll keep that font contested for a couple turns. Like I said, it's annoying, but at this point in the game, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to get one more attack off with my Rumbler before he dies. I don't have to worry about the counter attack because of the Oblivion Shield. And then I go ahead and finish him off with an Acid Storm. Again, the quicker I can get that font cleared out, I can concentrate on the center again. I can take the banner out next turn with the after the Acid Storm. So, right here, I'm just going to kind of try to do whatever damage I can to the Raider. Go and attack, lay another egg, and attack. Not a whole lot I can do there. I probably should have stayed back where I was and not engaged. Just because by doing that you can attack my Rumbler now and yeah, puts another Acrid Smoke down and recovers the globe. Flame strikes the egg to get rid of it and brings his Enforcer in. I'm still not really too worried. This game is going pretty well I mean, it's pretty even for the most part. He breaks out of Bach Mistress. I've been able to keep up with his champs, and even though he's been able to contest that lower font a couple times, it hasn't really hurt me too badly, I don't think. Go ahead and dodge, and then get out of dodge. And I drop a minefield just on the off chance that I get good placement. And I get okay placement. It's not great. One of the lava is definitely visible, and the one next to the Enforcer is definitely visible, so that kind of stinks. Alright, misses the Brood Queen because of dodge. Not sure why he used command dodge. I don't have any ranged units out, so that could have been AP better spent, I think. He takes out the mine in front of him, then moves one and eats the other two. So that's nice. Alright, so I'm pretty sure he's going to try to contest that lower font again with that Mistress. But my plan is to move my Hellion forward and then deploy in that font, so I kind of protect it. Here I'm just kind of seeing where I can get go and put out my other prismatic, because I'm expecting a battle here in this lower font area. And if I can get him with his rover ability up, then I can really start doing some damage. And then here I decide that I can go ahead and move in with my Hellion, so I invigorate him. And I can get into engage Block Raider and get an attack off. And it kind of uses all my AP, so I don't take the PoxNora damage. That's why I moved the Brood Queen there too. And then that gets PoxNora damage on the Raider. And then if he double taps, he's dead. So if he double taps my Hellion, he's dead. So I've got that going for me. And even if he does a little damage to the Thunder Hellion. It's not a huge deal. Because if he double taps and dies, then that means the next turn I can probably take out that Enforcer and take that font. So, yeah, just like he thought, he's kind of moving his Mistress down to contest my lower font. It probably would have been better to take her into that mid font and help in that battle, in my opinion. But I don't really mind the aggressive style, I guess. So he does double tap, and he moves his Enforcer in. Takes more fire damage from his fire shield. Alright. And puts out another Strangler. Alright, my mine dies. Which is fine, I wasn't going to do anything anyway. I have finally gotten to the point where most of the time I'll put up block and dodge when I actually have it available. There's a long time where I wouldn't do that, or I'd forget to do that. Alright, so I lay a hatchling and move my Brood Queen so that I can kind of maybe protect the egg from being destroyed. Go ahead and put out an Imperator in my lower font just to kind of scare him off. Make him back off a little bit. And then position my prismatic so that he actually can't contest with that Mistress. And that's kind of what I'm checking here. When I start counting spaces, like he can't, even if he goes straight to the bottom, he can't contest unless he's got another relic. So, pretty happy with my positioning there. Go ahead and attack the Enforcer again. And then get another damage shield, just so I use up my AP. Like I said, I don't really want to take the PoxNora damage, so. Alright, pretty happy with my position here. I just double confirmed that he can't contest unless he has a relic. He wisely decides to back off. Entangles the prismatic in the process, though, so that's kind of annoying. Attacks my Brood Queen twice, but it's not quite enough to kill her. And I think he's pretty much used all his spells up at this point for at least a couple more turns. And he drops an Aspect of Oblivion. So that's a problem I have to deal with eventually, but not too worried about it right now. Alright, I finally get a hatchling to hatch. So I drop my Paradosphere again. And I think at this point I'm deciding between a Dragon Fear and a tornado, but I do go ahead and Dragon Fear the Mistress. Invigorate the Broodling. And boom goes the dynamite. Alright, so it takes out the one Enforcer. Go ahead and attack. Get a little bit of damage on the from the Paradosphere. Attack again. Kind of use up my AP a little bit. Can't really do a whole lot with the Prismatic since he's entangled. But I go ahead and bring a Lightning Storm. And I move my Prismatic up just a little bit. And I go ahead and drop my Hive to finish off that Enforcer if I can. Alright, and that does the trick. Alright, so he moves back into contest with the Mistress. And recover the globe. But at this point, I've pretty much got this game won. The Mistress will be gone this next turn. Drops another Fire Blast and another Acrid Smoke. So they must have just come off a cooldown that turn. Here I'm trying to kind of position my breath where it won't kill my Hive, but then I just kind of accept that the Hive's gone anyway and it's served its purpose. If I can kill it and get it back off cooldown, it's better. Go ahead and deploy another Champ. Because I'll need to take care of that aspect this next turn. And then I go ahead and take out the Mistress. Cover both globes. And then kind of try to position my Champ so he can't contest that middle font there. Alright, I'm positioned pretty good here. I think I'm moving my healing up a little bit. Yeah, I do. And end my turn. Alright. So it's getting pretty close to the end of the game. I think he surrenders here pretty quickly. I'm kind of checking over the aspect, kind of make sure I know how he's gaining charge and what he can do and all that good stuff. I'm not sure what his thought process was there. I think he was going to go, I think if he kept playing, he would have contested that lower font again and kind of took himself away from my heavy headers up top, but I don't know. He does end up surrendering here in just a second. I think he drops the last Fire Blast as a goodbye present. But this game is pretty much over. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So here comes the Fire Blast. Yeah, there it is, and he surrenders. Well, thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.